Michael was 49 years old when his wife asked him a question that destroyed him. They were having dinner, just a normal Tuesday night, grilled chicken, roasted vegetables, a glass of red wine. The kind of meal they'd shared 1,000 times. But this time, halfway through dinner, she put down her fork and looked at him with an expression he'd never seen before. Not anger, not frustration, sadness. "Michael, when was the last time you actually wanted me?" He froze. Fork halfway to his mouth. Heart pounding. Mind racing for an answer that wouldn't make everything worse. "What are you talking about? I always want you." She shook her head slowly. Didn't break eye contact. "No, you don't. And we both know it." The silence that followed was crushing. Because she was right. It had been months since he'd initiated anything. Months since he'd felt that spontaneous desire that used to hit him out of nowhere when he looked at her. She was still beautiful, still the woman he'd married 22 years ago, still the mother of his children, his best friend, his partner. But something inside him had died, not his love for her. That was still there, stronger than ever, actually. But his body had betrayed him. Michael used to be the guy who couldn't keep his hands off his wife, who'd pull her into the bedroom in the middle of the afternoon, who'd wake her up at 2 a.m. because he wanted her that badly. Now, nothing. He'd lie in bed next to her, feeling her warmth, smelling her perfume, and feel absolutely nothing below the waist. The desire was still there in his mind. The memories of how good it used to be. The fantasy of being that man again. But when it came time to actually perform, his body wouldn't cooperate. It started small. A few times where things didn't work quite right, where he needed more time to get ready, where he finished faster than he wanted to. He told himself it was stress, work pressure, getting older, normal stuff, nothing to worry about. But then it got worse. He'd try to initiate and nothing would happen. No response, no arousal, just nothing. The embarrassment was crushing. The first time it happened, his wife was understanding. Told him it was okay. Told him they could try again later. But later didn't work either. And the time after that was even worse. Eventually, he stopped trying. Stopped initiating. Stopped putting himself in situations where his body could fail him again. And his wife stopped trying too. She stopped wearing the lingerie he used to love. Stopped reaching for him in bed. Stopped making those little comments and touches that used to drive him wild. They became roommates, partners, friends, but not lovers. Not anymore. Michael went to his doctor. A routine physical, blood work. Everything checked out fine. His testosterone was a bit low, but the doctor said that was normal for a guy approaching 50. Offered him a prescription for the little blue pills. Michael took them. Tried them for a few weeks. They worked, sort of. Mechanically, everything functioned, but it didn't feel right, didn't feel natural, didn't feel like him, and the side effects were brutal. Headaches, vision problems, that weird stuffy nose that lasted for hours, plus the psychological part, having to plan everything 2 hours in advance, having to remember to take a pill and wait, having to make sex into this scheduled, calculated event instead of something spontaneous and natural. His wife noticed, asked if he was taking something. He lied and said no, but she knew, and that made everything worse, because now it wasn't just that he couldn't perform. It was that he needed pharmaceutical help to even fake it. Michael started researching online. Testosterone replacement therapy, vacuum pumps, injections, surgery. Everything sounded expensive, invasive, risky, or all three. He tried supplements, zinc, L-arginine, horny goatweed, maca root, spent hundreds of dollars on bottles of pills that did absolutely nothing. He tried exercising more, lost 15 pounds, got in the best shape he'd been in years, still nothing. He tried meditation, therapy, couples counseling. His wife was patient, supportive, never made him feel inadequate, even though he felt inadequate every single day. But he could see it in her eyes, the disappointment, the resignation, the slow death of hope. She started going to bed earlier, started creating distance, started building a life that didn't include physical intimacy because physical intimacy was no longer an option. And Michael felt like he was losing her. Not all at once, not dramatically, but slowly, inch by inch, day by day. He'd look at other couples his age and wonder how they did it, how they maintained that spark, that connection, that physical relationship. Were they all taking pills too? Were they all faking it? Or was he the only one who was broken? Michael was sitting at dinner one night, same routine, same meal, when something clicked. He'd been researching for months, reading studies, watching videos, trying to understand what was happening to his body, and he kept seeing the same pattern. Men who ate certain foods at night had dramatically worse erectile function than men who avoided those foods. Not because the foods were unhealthy, some of them were actually considered healthy, but because of what those foods did to blood flow. Specifically, blood flow during the critical hours when testosterone production and vascular repair were supposed to happen. Michael had been eating one of those foods every single night for the past 5 years. Right before bed, thinking it was healthy, thinking it was helping him, but it was destroying him. And the worst part? His doctor never mentioned it, never asked about his diet, never connected the dots between what he was eating and why his body wasn't working, because there's no money in telling men to change their dinner habits. There's only money in selling them prescriptions they'll need for the rest of their lives. But before I tell you what Michael discovered, I need you to do something. If this story sounds familiar, if you felt that shame, that frustration, that slow death of your physical relationship, click the like button right now, not later. Now, because YouTube is suppressing this information. They don't want you to know about natural solutions that don't require prescriptions or medical interventions. And subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications. Because what I'm about to share in the next few minutes could save your relationship, your confidence, and your manhood. Leave a comment right now saying, "I'm taking control back." Write it. Commit to it. Make it real. Do it now. The food Michael was eating every night that was destroying his erections? Dinner carbohydrates, specifically starchy carbs like pasta, rice, bread, and potatoes eaten within 4 hours of bedtime. Wait, don't leave. I know that sounds crazy. Everyone eats carbs at dinner. How could that be the problem? But here's what your doctor didn't tell you. When you eat high glycemic carbohydrates at night, especially close to bedtime, you trigger a massive insulin spike right when your body is trying to shift into repair and recovery mode. Insulin blocks nitric oxide production, and nitric oxide is the molecule responsible for dilating blood vessels and enabling erections. No nitric oxide equals no blood flow. No blood flow equals no erections. It's that simple. But it gets worse. When you spike insulin at night, you also suppress growth hormone and testosterone production during sleep. Those are the two hormones responsible for vascular repair, muscle recovery, and sexual function. So you're not just blocking blood flow in the moment. You're preventing your body from repairing the damage that's been building up for years. Do this every single night for months or years. Your vascular system gets progressively worse. Your testosterone production drops, your nitric oxide levels crater, and your erections disappear. Michael eliminated dinner carbs, started eating protein and vegetables for dinner instead, moved his carbohydrate intake to breakfast and lunch. Within 2 weeks, he noticed a difference. Better sleep, more energy in the morning, waking up with erections for the first time in months. Within a month, he tried initiating with his wife, and it worked, fully, naturally. No pills, no planning, no performance anxiety. She cried, told him she thought they'd lost that forever. But Michael didn't stop there, because he learned something else during his research. Even if you fix the insulin problem, you still need to support your body's ability to produce nitric oxide and maintain healthy blood flow. That's where most men fail. They fix one thing, but ignore the bigger picture. Michael found a protocol that addressed both issues, the insulin problem and the nitric oxide production problem. It's called the salt trick. And it changed everything. The salt trick isn't about adding more salt to your food. It's about using specific mineral compounds to support the enzymatic processes that produce nitric oxide and maintain vascular health. Michael learned this from a research paper published by Italian vascular surgeons studying male erectile dysfunction. They discovered that men with optimal erectile function had something in common: higher levels of specific trace minerals that support nitric oxide production, particularly magnesium, potassium, and a lesser-known mineral called boron. But not just any form of these minerals. Chelated forms bound to amino acids for maximum absorption. And when combined with unrefined mineral salts, the nitric oxide production increased by up to 300%. Why does this matter? Because erections are entirely dependent on nitric oxide. It's the molecule that signals your blood vessels to dilate and allow blood flow into the erectile tissue. Without adequate nitric oxide, it doesn't matter how aroused you are mentally. Your body physically cannot produce an erection. You can have all the desire in the world, but without the biochemical signal, nothing happens. It's like having a car with no fuel. The engine is fine, the parts all work. But without gas, you're not going anywhere. Most men over 45 are severely deficient in the minerals needed to produce nitric oxide. Modern soil is depleted. Processed foods are stripped of nutrients. Stress depletes minerals faster than diet can replace them. Even if you're eating well, you're probably still deficient in the exact minerals your body needs to maintain healthy erections. Michael started supplementing with magnesium glycinate, potassium citrate, and boron. Added a 1/4 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt to his morning water. The change was noticeable within days. Better energy, better mood, better sleep quality. But the real transformation happened when he combined the mineral support with the dietary changes, because minerals support nitric oxide production. But they don't help if you're constantly spiking insulin at night and shutting down the entire system. You need both, the diet fix and the mineral support. Together, they create a synergistic effect that restores function faster than either approach alone. But there's a third piece most men miss. Even with proper diet and mineral support, your body still needs the raw materials to produce nitric oxide. Specifically, an amino acid called L-arginine and its more bioavailable cousin, L-citrulline. These amino acids are the direct precursors to nitric oxide. Your body converts them into nitric oxide through an enzymatic process that requires those trace minerals we talked about. Without adequate L-citrulline, your body can't produce enough nitric oxide no matter how many minerals you take. And here's the problem. Most men over 40 don't get nearly enough L-citrulline from their diet. The best food sources are watermelon, cucumbers, and certain nuts, but you'd need to eat massive quantities every single day to get therapeutic levels. Michael added L-citrulline supplementation to his protocol. Started with 3 grams in the morning, another 3 grams before bed. Within 3 weeks, the difference was dramatic. His morning erections were stronger and more frequent. His spontaneous desire throughout the day came back. His confidence returned, and his relationship with his wife transformed. One Saturday morning, about 2 months into his protocol, she woke up and found him already awake, looking at her with an expression she hadn't seen in years. She smiled, reached for him, and everything worked, perfectly, naturally, like they were 30 again. Afterward, she asked him what had changed, what he was doing differently. He told her everything. The dinner carbs, the minerals, the L-citrulline, the complete protocol. She asked why his doctor never told him any of this. Michael didn't have a good answer, because there isn't one. The medical system makes money from prescriptions and procedures, not from telling men to change their dinner timing and take amino acids. A bottle of prescription pills costs $15 per dose. A lifetime prescription is worth tens of thousands of dollars. A bag of L-citrulline costs $30 and lasts 3 months. The financial incentive isn't there to tell you the truth. So they don't. They let you suffer. Let your relationships deteriorate. Let you feel broken and inadequate. And then they sell you a pill that treats the symptom while ignoring the cause. Michael told his friends, his brother, his co-workers, anyone who would listen. Most were skeptical. Some tried it halfway and gave up. But the ones who actually committed to the full protocol, they all came back with the same report. It works, not overnight, not like magic, but consistently, reliably if you actually do it. Within 4 to 6 weeks, most men see significant improvement. Better erections, better stamina, better confidence. Within 3 months, most men report feeling like they did 10 or 15 years ago. But there's one more piece to the puzzle that made everything even better for Michael. He discovered there was a specific formula designed to combine all the minerals, amino acids, and nitric oxide precursors into one complete supplement. something that addressed everything at once. The mineral support, the L-citrulline, the boron, the proper ratios and bioavailable forms. A complete protocol in one scoop. That formula is what's known as the salt trick method, and it's been restoring function for thousands of men just like Michael. When he added it to his protocol, his results accelerated even further. His energy was through the roof. His workouts improved, his recovery improved, his mental clarity improved, and his sex life? Better than it had been in 20 years. His wife joked that she'd created a monster, but she definitely wasn't complaining. Michael went from avoiding intimacy out of fear and shame to initiating regularly, sometimes multiple times a week, sometimes multiple times in one night, at 49 years old, because his body was finally getting what it needed to function properly. No prescriptions, no injections, no expensive medical procedures, just fixing the things that were broken, removing the things that were hurting him, adding the things his body was missing. Simple, natural, sustainable, and completely ignored by mainstream medicine because there's no profit in it. Michael is 52 now, 3 years into his protocol, still going strong. His erectile function is better than it was at 40. His energy is consistent. His confidence is unshakable. His marriage is better than it's ever been. Not just sexually, though that's definitely better, but emotionally, they're connected again, present with each other, laughing together. His wife told him recently that she'd been scared they were going to become one of those couples who just exist side by side without any real intimacy. She'd seen it happen to her parents, her friends, so many couples who just give up on that part of their relationship and pretend it doesn't matter. But it does matter. It matters more than most people want to admit. Because physical intimacy isn't just about pleasure, it's about connection, vulnerability, being fully present with another person. When that dies, something fundamental in the relationship dies with it. Michael almost lost that, almost resigned himself to a life of pills and planning and faking it. But he didn't, because he found the truth that his doctor never told him. And now you have that truth too. The dinner carb problem, the insulin spike blocking nitric oxide, the mineral deficiencies, the amino acid support, all of it. But knowing the truth isn't enough. You have to act on it. Step 1. Stop eating starchy carbs within 4 hours of bedtime. Move your carbohydrate intake to breakfast and lunch. Eat protein and vegetables for dinner. Step 2. Support your mineral levels, magnesium, potassium, boron, daily, consistently. Step 3. Add L-citrulline to support nitric oxide production, 3 to 6 grams daily, split between morning and evening. Step 4. Understand how the complete salt trick protocol works to restore everything at once. Michael spent months piecing this together, buying separate supplements, testing doses, making mistakes, but there's a better way. In the next video, I'm going to break down exactly how the salt trick works at a biological level, what compounds are involved, how they interact, why the timing matters, and where to find the exact formula Michael used to go from broken to thriving. The link to that video is in the description below and pinned in the comments. Watch it next. Don't wait. Because every day you delay is another day of dysfunction, another day of avoiding intimacy, another day of your relationship slowly dying while you accept it as inevitable. It's not inevitable, and you don't have to accept it. Michael didn't. Thousands of other men didn't. In the salt trick video, you'll see the complete breakdown, the science, the protocol, the exact supplement formula that combines everything. No guessing, no piecing it together, just the complete system that works. Your wife is still waiting. She hasn't given up on you. She's just protecting herself from the disappointment of hoping for something that never happens. Show her she doesn't have to protect herself anymore. Be the man she married again. Be the man you used to be. The next video has everything you need. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment right now. Watch the salt trick video next. Your relationship depends on it.